Hi, I'm Lisa Liang, and after many years of talking about the challenges of growing up nomadically and internationally, I want to give a shout out to the parents and guardians who clearly cared about their third culture kids and global nomad kids' well being, like my parents did. There are tons of books and essays and short documentaries, videos, and conference sessions that are devoted to how much TCKs need to heal from unacknowledged grief, from all the goodbyes and repeated losses of culture and environment, and maybe from traumas they didn't feel safe to reveal as kids, and how many parents and guardians don't often let their TCK kids talk about that. But that doesn't mean the adults have failed in some all-encompassing way at all. Like, my mom made home everywhere we lived. She packed non-perishable groceries when we moved to Morocco, and I will never forget how comforting it was to eat spaghetti that first night in the most unfamiliar place we had ever moved to at that point. And when school teachers wanted my parents to know that their kids had tested well, my mom didn't care about that anywhere near as much as she cared about our making friends and being happy. And she's a theater actress and director and producer, so she introduced us to theater, which gave us instant community and friendships and a safe place for us to express ourselves in costume. And she always encouraged our writing, and my brother and I have skills as writers because of that. My parents went to my brother John's ball games and my swimming races, even though neither of us, let us say, we were not gifted with team sports. And I was a fast swimmer, except I wasn't during the flip. I wasn't good at the flip, and then I'd slow down. But anyway, they were very supportive of us despite that. My mom planned the greatest vacations that showed us so much of a country before the internet. And they were vacations that were like a combination of low budget hotel rooms we all piled into together with a bathroom shared with all the other people in the hall, and mid-range hotels that were like Holiday Inns, and then one night at a fancier hotel, and we'd drive through countrysides and go to art museums, and how many people get to do that? My mom organized every detail, again before the internet, using fax machines and guidebooks, and those are easily some of the happiest memories of my life. My parents let my friends stay over anytime. They were interested in our lives in middle school and high school, especially my mom, who would get us to throw parties, which would help us create community. And my parents would help. They would, do the work of setting up the party, the food and the drinks, and setting up the home. They're the reason we'd feel at home when we'd first arrive somewhere, because my mom would cook something and make sure we had like soaps and shampoos that were familiar, all that sensory stuff that helps to ground you. And my pop would make sure that we unpacked quickly, so we didn't live among boxes for weeks. Everything was in its place, and that helped to ground us. And I think most importantly, my brother and I always knew we were loved as we were growing up. There was no question about that, ever. So we were lucky, not just as third culture kids, but as kids. Because not every kid has that. And I just want to acknowledge that. Because there's so much video and audio and written articles of me on the internet talking about the challenges. And there were challenges. But if you've seen the film of my solo show about growing up interculturally, alien citizen, I ended with a happy ending with numerous memories of what that life gave me. But there were exponentially more memories that just didn't fit in the monologue. It would have been too long. But that's thanks to not just the extraordinary life that my parents gave us because my pop worked for Xerox, but also because they wanted us to be happy. They did care about our well-being. That's true for other TCK parents too. So shout out to that. Thank you, Mom and Pop. And hope everyone's having a great day.